Man City's next match, their first after the international break, is in the FA Cup quarter-finals away against Bournemouth on Sunday. Now, while Man City are considered by many as its favourites to go away and win the FA Cup, now that several big names have been knocked out, the quarter-final draw away at Bournemouth is probably the toughest one they could have had. Actually, maybe if they'd drawn Aston Villa away, we'll be saying the same thing. But this is it's an intriguing fixture, but it's going to be a tough one for City away at
Yeah.
Bournemouth. They've been so impressive under Andoni Iraola this season, a surprise package in the Premier League. They've not only battling for FA Cup glory now, but also a top six finish in the Premier League and qualifying for Europe next season. Bournemouth have already beaten City this season at the Vitality Stadium, winning 2-1 in November, I think it was last year. Um, I think it was one of City's worst performances, really, in that
Yeah.
game. It was not a great day for City. So, yeah, how challenging is this fixture going to be for Pep Guardiola's side, Stephen? What are your thoughts heading into this FA Cup tie?
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult. Bournemouth are, I think they are the one of the sides that gave us that sort of cold slap in the face, the real awakening of where City were back then, in the middle of winter. Bournemouth just ran us ragged. They were so much more organised, so much more physical. They made City look old and injured and tired and sort of very dated. I think that was them that to me felt like the most chastening. I know Spurs beat us 4-0, but it was Bournemouth running us ragged that felt like, oh man, we stink right now. And like, that was the truth of it. So like, and we've already talked about, Kirkez, and he's a big part of that. And, you've got people like Houston, the young centre back, being linked to Real Madrid. He's been absolutely brilliant, a quality footballer. One I would love to see at City, by the way, for what it's worth. I think would be a perfect signing for Manchester City. But then it's not just him. It's Semenyo has been absolutely brilliant. Kluivert's been fantastic for them. Everything about the way that Bournemouth play is just so aggressive and so composed, and there's sort of a chaos in the way that they go forward, and they sort of revel in that because they have the game intelligence and the physicality to react to that situation, which is something that City have struggled with. City are a team that thrives in composure and control. Where Bournemouth are the exact opposite of that. They're the antidote. And given City have lacked the technical ability to play their game and keep the ball, we've seen, Bournemouth just run them ragged essentially, and that to me is our biggest fear. I think City are better since then. I think the signings have been a big part of that. We've been able to play a younger defense, younger midfield, younger forward line. Guardiola's leaning on Doku and Savino as well as Marmoush has come in. Nico Gonzalez has helped a lot physically. I think we've got much more of a balance with Kusanov as well available a lot. That's helped a lot of our defensive attributes. So I do think City are a better side from those sort of real bad days, but our results haven't been great. So Bournemouth, they'll fancy their chances, and given the fact that it's away at Bournemouth, there's a real good chance we could go out. And like, I would love to pretend that City will go through, but as much as we've been a little bit better, we still haven't had the answers recently. We haven't been disastrous in the way that we were, a few months ago. But we still couldn't beat Brighton. We did lose to Forest, and those games were close. I think they could have gone either way for both sides. But that is a level now. We are only just, in my opinion, of the quality of Forest or Brighton or Bournemouth. We're not better than them. And given the fact that they're at home, Bournemouth, I think they'll be looking at City and going, yeah, we can beat them. Why not? Because I think that's our current level. We're just challenging those sides. We're not the City that would challenge Liverpool or Arsenal. We're now just in that pile of sides behind them where we're a good side. We're not a great side. So Bournemouth will fancy their chances.
Yeah, and after that 2-1 defeat in November, Guardiola said that his team couldn't match Bournemouth's intensity, and they had the physicality and the speed which City lacked on that day. And considering that this fixture takes place directly after an international break, when a lot of players have played across the world, really, are you concerned that this City side once again may lack that energy, that intensity needed to get the better of Bournemouth?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I mean, lack of rhythm. It's felt like a long international break as well, actually, and lack of time on the training pitch. Bournemouth, I think, the beauty of City over the years is that we've been able to get going so quickly because there's been such a set core of players who knew exactly what they're doing, and the structure was so defined. But I think City over the past several months have been scrambling around for a sort of a very much a plug, a backup identity, because we haven't got that traditional Manchester City ability. We've been trying to find solutions on the fly, and I don't think City are as locked in as Bournemouth are. So I don't. With lots of new players that have joined in the past. Like half the team has joined within the past 18 months. So it's a new City side that are very young, that are not their peak. And I don't think they can just slide back into the rhythm perfectly. Don't get me wrong, there's still quality there, but it hasn't got the composure or the experience of previous Manchester City side. So I think it is going to be an issue for City, unfortunately.
Yeah, and in terms of team news, of course, it's difficult to predict who's going to play, who will be available for this game. But if if the vast majority of that squad is available, who would you like to see handed a start? Who'd you expect? You'd expect Guardiola to name a strong team, but which players do you think you'd like to see play against Bournemouth?
Yeah, I think obviously Zed is available. He should be in goal. I think the back line, I think Nunes would be better against the pace of Semenyo. Kusanov will certainly play. Diaz, Vardy, there's rumours about him being injured. We'll have to see that. If he is injured, I suspect it'll be Rico Lewis at left back. I would love it to be Nico Riley personally. I think the physicality thing would make a lot more sense. Don't know if he'll go there. Nico Gonzalez is nailed on. Then maybe, I don't know, one of Gundogan or Bernardo. Could be Kovacic. I think you'd be tempted by Gundogan just because of the composure a little. It might help a little bit. Then I'd probably just Doku, Savino, Haaland up front, and one of Marmoush or Foden, I reckon. De Bruyne has been good at international break though, so you never know. De Bruyne hopefully could get back to himself before the end of the season.